Well, it's Sunday, folks, and I'm going to share with you a story or something that's happened in my real estate career, either recently or in the past. This is Rick Jarman, Real Estate Investing Old School. My two granddaughters in the pool behind me, they're swimming. I'm going to be joining them shortly, so it might be a little noise, but that's all right. This is the real world, and that's what we're talking about. But you know, in my video yesterday, I told you all about I'd moved 31 times in 46 years. Well, folks, to be more accurate, I didn't want to go back and change things. I've been in the house where I live now 5 years, and before I lived in this house, I was at that house for 17 years. So that means, counting those two moves, if I moved 31 times in 41 years. That's a lot of moving, isn't it, folks? But I got a story to tell you about a couple of those moves today. And also, not only did I move, I used to move my parents around some because I would put them in houses I owned. And they probably moved 3 or 4 or 5 times themselves. Oh, I was fortunate enough that before my parents died, and y'all heard me talk about how my mother was, my mother and father both growing up. So my dad was in the VA hospital. He was had a complete mental breakdown when I was 3 years old. And when I got 15 years old, he came outpatient from the VA. Well, folks, I got married at 18. So anyway, Mom and Daddy both growing up. And I always told my wife, we got married at 18. I said, one of these days, I'm going to buy my mom a house. And I did. Bought her several, actually. But the house she died in, I had built her a new house. And she lived there about 3 years before she passed away. And I was, proud of that. But anyway, the story I want to tell you is that one time, like I said, I'd been at one particular house about 3 years, and we had sold it. And, back then you had cell phones that were built into your vehicle, or wired in other words. It looked kind of like a regular phone. You'd hang it up in your vehicle. Well, we spent a lot of time on those phones because when they first came out, man, it saved you all kind of time. So anyway, I'm on the phone. I'm pulling up to my house, and I'm still trying to finish my conversation. And I look up and I said, I don't live here no more. It's a house I had sold where I used to live. I mean, that's, it was part of the business back then. Because, like I was telling you, if you don't have money, you got to do it however you can make it happen. And for us, it was moving. We'd keep a storage rented that we'd keep things in. I guess maybe like some of you folks today that are minimalists, is that what you call it? You don't have a lot of things you don't need or use. Well, we put those things in storage. And my kids always went to the same elementary school because my wife was a school teacher, so they didn't have to change school zones just because we changed houses maybe out of that school zone. So they'd leave going to school in the morning. My wife pick them up in the evening, and we'd already be moved. And we'd try to set their rooms back up as close as they were, but it didn't hurt them. They was raised that way. In fact, my son's in the business with me today, as y'all know. But that was kind of their life growing up. And we reached a point we didn't have to move all the time. But in the early days, that's what we had to do. I remember one house, we had just finished. It was a new house. And see, a lot of times we didn't live in the new houses. People think we lived in new houses a lot, but we'd take the trades, we'd move in them. But one new house I remember we moved in, we just got it finished. We just moved in. I'm hanging, back then I used to have these level or metal blinds. I'm hanging these mini blinds. The doorbell rings. I could hear my wife talking with somebody at the front door, and they asked her, is this house still for sale? She says, well, yes it is, but we have another one just like it down the street here. Guy says, oh no, my wife likes this house because it's set up on a hill, and this one they wanted. And we wrote a contract and they bought it. The time we moved in to the time we moved out was 30 days. I just wish he'd got there before I'd hung out. I'm working on that last blind. So anyway, folks, you got to figure out ways to make things work. If you don't have money, buy you a house, move in it, fix it up, have a place to live while you're living there. It serves two purposes. You have a place to live while you're living there, and you can sell it, make some money, and do it again. You just don't sit back and wait till you got enough money sitting in the bank to go buy something. You make things happen. Anyway, this is Rick Jarman, Real Estate Investing Old School, and I'm fixing to go swimming with my 2 granddaughters. So, y'all have a good day. Talk with you tomorrow. You going swimming today, baby? Huh? I like that hat. Can you wave at everybody? So who's got a good pop?
You.
There you go. Folks, this is what it's all about right here.